everybody? Welcome back. I'm Wes.
I'm Chanel.
And welcome back to the Tune Out Podcast. We're back with another banger. Yeah! Let's go!
We had to.
We had to. It's only tradition at this point. Episode 4. We're here, back and better than ever. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I'm not sure. Was I the one that brought it up?
I don't remember, actually.
I think we just came up with it brainstorming a little bit back and forth. Yeah. But today we're going to be talking about underrated bands and artists, people who we feel like, well, we've been going back and forth on kind of what we feel like underrated really would even be. I don't know if you kind of want to.
Yeah, like we were trying to figure out our approach to what we would define as an underrated band or artist.
That's the difficult part.
Because, yeah, it's like I feel like you can take... I'm like, here, do I want to search the word underrated?
I know, right? We could do that live on the pod.
Let's do that really quick.
Let's see what underrated
According
means.
According
to my source. According to my
source. Oxford. Wait.
That's official.
Not rated or valued highly enough.
Yeah.
I don't know what dictionary this comes from. I think it's just Google. Like, I just Googled it.
Google
it's just
Academia.
The Google dictionary. I mean, there's all different types. Oh my God, Urban Dictionary.
What does Urban Dictionary say?
Because that's always interesting what they say. So it says someone that has a skill/talent but never gets recognition or a chance to show it.
Is it weird that I'm liking the Urban Dictionary definition more than the official dictionary?
Because I feel like it's a little more specific.
Exactly.
Like it kind of gives you more of a scenario almost.
I feel like it's the people's definition of what underrated really means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also I think... I mean, there's more. There's like sub definitions. There's like
I'm
cooler
curious.
than most people think. Something or someone not well known by the mass public, but of high quality. Yada, yada, yada.
Yada, 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 etc.
Yeah.
I feel like I see you like really looking at those definitions.
I'm really looking at these definitions. Let me take a break for a second. Let me come back. My curious mind is like, let me find more. But
yeah, we wanted to talk about which bands and artists that we've listened to that we feel like kind of maybe don't get the recognition they deserve. Maybe people don't know enough about who they are as musicians to where people can actually see almost like their true talent. You know what I mean? Because I know that some of the cases that we looked at are people who are like maybe one-hit wonders. But if you just dove a little deeper into their catalog, literally just 1 or 2 songs, you'd be like, damn, these guys got bops for days. Like, I've been missing out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see they got something going on. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I think like what you said is pretty much what you said at the end is more so like the approach I was thinking of too is like, like maybe, because I think we were struggling with like, again, what we would define as an underrated artist or band because it's so like, subjective, like, because in their, I don't want to say their field, but in people who listen to their genre, right, like they might be popular there, but we might not see them a lot in like music shows or performing or hearing them on the radio, but they still have like some influence in like within their genre. But I think I like the approach that you said of like they had the one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Or like that song that, like when you say their name, someone says, oh, that song. And like that's the only one that they're really known for, but they actually have some pretty solid discography, I would say.
They have like entire like albums that people are just like, no, I don't really care for that. Right? Just give me my one song. Give me All Star by Smash Mouth. It's just, I don't even know if I want to include Smash Mouth into that.
You're like, I'm already going to get into my... Thanks.
I don't know, because it's like there's so much that we could talk about, because I think one of the more difficult parts with like choosing artists or bands that we thought were underrated is that a lot of times, again, it is subjective, but it's like sometimes we might be like they're underrated, but in a more broader general sense, like they're a successful group.
They're doing numbers. Is what
they're selling out shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But then, so I mean, do you want to, maybe we'll just start getting into, because I know you have some in mind, right?
Yeah.
And I have some in mind.
I really like your picks though. Okay. So we could like bounce off.
Do you want me to start? So I think what we can do, like we'll start at going back and forth.
Yeah.
And see where it goes.
Yeah. So I'm excited for your first pick. What are we working with?
I feel like you think, okay, I'm going to start with Dun, dun, dun. Foster the People.
Let's go. It's mad excited.
You're already hyping it up. Like, let's go. So Foster the People. I feel like most people know
Yeah.
Foster the People. Most people know Pumped Up Kicks, right? That's like, a great song. That's such a famous song. Like, there are cover bands that play that song. Like, it's just so popular.
Yo, to this day.
Yeah, and they have, so I used to listen to them a lot. I feel like I've mentioned I had like a skateboard phase.
Yeah.
So like during that phase, I used to listen to them a lot, and their album Torches is where the song Pumped Up Kicks lives, I would say.
Is that a debut? Is it second, third album? I don't know if it mentions it on Spotify.
Question. I don't think it's their first.
Yeah.
Actually, you should look that up, people.
Okay, we will look that up.
No, they have, I mean, they've put out some singles, like teased out some singles from that album, but I think that was probably their debut.
Okay, word.
Let's leave it at that.
Word,
but
yeah.
If you want to double check,
that song's been around for a while.
Because I feel like this is their, like, yeah, pretty much like there. And I know they're gonna. I saw they announced Torches X, which is gonna be, I think, like maybe an extended version of that album.
Oh damn!
Which is pretty cool. Like, I feel like the nostalgia. I'm like, oh my god, I used to listen to them, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is that Torches is a solid album. Like, I love so many songs from that album. Like,
yeah.
Houdini, Miss You, Call It What You Want. I mean, all of them. Waste. I Would Do Anything for You is really great.
Yeah.
They just have so many great songs, and I think if you're curious about, if you liked that song, you should definitely check out some of their other songs, because
yeah, definitely,
I think they're underrated in that sense, that, you know, they have that one Pumped Up Kick song that they're known for, but I wish people knew them for other songs, because they have some great ones.
They're a good band.
Yeah.
So just because I'm curious, and I know you've listened to the rest of the album,
yeah,
a lot of times with like one hit wonders and like the one song that usually blows up, there's a case where the one song that blows up doesn't sound anything at all like the other songs from the album. Is that the case too, or does Pumped Up Kicks like kind of capture the sound of like the rest of the album?
That's a good question. I think that song to me is I think it's unique.
Yeah.
I almost feel like it feels like it belongs in that album.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can understand why it's such a standalone hit, because it does have like this almost like, I mean, you know, the beat of it. It has that very like, and like that famous bass line. Yeah, exactly. So like, it's very catchy. Good. It's catchy, and I remember wanting to learn that, like the bass, just that.
Yeah.
When I was younger, my dad was like, he picked it up really quick because he's just that guy that can like pick up anything.
Shout out the GOAT.
Literally.
Friend of the podcast.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I would say like the rest of their songs have a different sound to them.
Yeah.
So that one, I almost feel like it has like a beach. Like, it just reminds me of like the beach and like waves and I don't know. But yeah, I would say that their other songs are different, but still interesting and like very fun to listen to. So,
hell yeah. I gotta check it out. I feel like I may have heard Houdini, but I'm not too sure. So I gotta go and revisit that.
I almost feel like they're like a alternative pop kind of feeling. A little. I feel like they're experimental.
Yeah.
I feel like they're experimental for sure.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
My first one, I had such a struggle picking some bands because of what I mentioned. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, they're underrated, but then they're doing numbers, so it's like, are they? My first one is a band called This Town Needs Guns. They're a bunch of UK boys. They're some of the most wholesome guys in the world. They're a math rock band, and what that means is most of the music they make is usually music that like plays around with like time signatures and tempos. The music is very just like complex, but it's still catchy enough that it's still like accessible. You know what I mean? There's a big like math rock scene in the like Midwest area of the US, enough so that like if you come from that general area and you play math rock, they call it like twinkly emo rock.
Twinkly emo
because rock? It's all like emotional music over really pretty guitars. Like and so the reason I bring up This Sound Needs Guns is because I feel like they were very much a pioneer of that sound. Like, a lot of math rock bands that play now were like, This Sound Needs Guns have been around since I believe 2008. But they had a self-titled album that came out around, I believe, 2010, that had like two songs that are some of their most popular songs. But like even then, if you look it up on YouTube, I think they only have like 1 million or something views on it for a band that's been around for like a decade and has like, I wouldn't say ushered in, because I think the sound has been around before them. But like if you talk to anybody that listens to math rock, they're gonna say TTNG, like this sound needs guns. And I also think they're underrated because they used to be a 5-piece band until their bass player and their vocalist left. And then one guy came in to replace the both of them. And he does vocals and bass guitar for music that's in like these wild time signatures and super busy parts. And he still manages to knock it out of the park. And they've written new music that's even wilder. So yeah, I feel
like they lucked out with that new.
They really did.
That he was able to like just jump in and kill it.
They really did. I believe his name is Hank Tremaine. It might be Henry. I'm not sure.
What's I know you've mentioned math rock before. Like what? I guess what's that category? Like how would you describe math rock specifically against like other types of rock?
So what separates math rock from like, let's say, rock in general, its biggest distinguishing factor is that it goes out of its way to be more complex. So like, let's say standard rock and most like standard music is in 4/4 time signature, which is like 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and sometimes 3/4. Math rock goes out of its way. Like a lot of people that make math rock will make songs in like 7/8 or like 7/4 or 5/4, just like rhythms that like people aren't normally used to. And then a lot of the most instruments in like math rock bands, like your typical bands, like 2 guitars, a bass player, a singer. There's like a small defining feature. Like I know, right? It's just I love geeking out about this stuff. There's a small defining feature for like math rock bands. They always need a brass instrument, and it's usually a trumpet.
That's like so unexpected.
It's so weird, but again, because like the music is supposed to almost sound just like young and crazy and like energetic, and I don't know why a trumpet just like does the job, like a nice.
They're like, you know what this needs? That sound.
But yeah, like that's a good way to distinguish like math rock from like normal stuff. It just sounds weirder.
Yeah.
So yeah, This Town Needs Guns, I feel like are a very underrated band. And you should check them out.
Check them out. I have 2 more.
Okay, hit me with them.
So
I'm
my
ready.
second one
I'm ready.
is Switchfoot, which I mentioned before.
Yeah. Friends of the podcast.
Switchfoot, I chose them because they're widely known.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're mostly known for the songs Meant to Live.
Such a great song.
Actually, even more so than that one, Dare You to Move.
Yeah.
That's the one I meant to say first.
That's
like
great
the song of, I feel like it kind of is almost their anthem in a way. And I get why. It's very much like an uplifting anthem type of song. And also Only Hope, which I didn't listen to until like later on.
I actually haven't heard it. So.
Yeah, I was telling Wes earlier that song is popular because of this movie. I think it's from Nicholas Sparks. I think it's like a romantic, kind of sad movie that a lot of people were into called A Walk to Remember. Yeah. And I hadn't even seen that movie till like later on, but Only Hope was one of their songs in that movie, so it got a lot of fame from it. But Switchfoot has an amazing discography. Like they have, they have some like really solid songs. Like I feel like Meant to Live is not even one of their most popular songs, but
I feel like
it's a little more popular. It's among the popular ones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like I feel like among like rock heads, like if you like rock music, and somebody says Switchfoot, then you're like, okay, whatever, the Meant to Live band.
Yeah, that's probably the first one, that they think of. But they have so many, and I can probably just go on. But I would definitely say to check out their albums.
Do you have a favorite Switchfoot album? Or?
I don't know if I have a favorite album. I have some favorite songs. Like Hello Hurricane is a great album. The song Hello Hurricane is on it. It's great. Needle and Haystack Life, Your Love is a Song. The sound is a little more heavy, that one. Always Yet. Bullet Soul is again more motivational, heavy, kind of has more drive.
These are songs I haven't heard.
There's a lot. I mean, even some on their Vice Versa's album is great too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like I feel like they're more. I have favorites spread out like throughout their albums, but overall they're just a great band. And John Foreman, the lead singer, he's an amazing songwriter, amazing voice. They're definitely worth checking out beyond those main songs that they're known for. So yeah, that's why that was my second pick.
Yeah, Switchfoot is great, and his voice,
it's great.
Oh, it's beautiful.
There's something about it. Yeah, he has a beautiful voice.
Yeah,
he really does.
And again, I feel like a Switchfoot hype beast because Meant to Live is like the number one song I heard.
I feel like their lyrics too are very like they touch on a lot of themes of life, and they're like they give hope, and they're really motivational and all of that. So. They put a lot of thought into their songwriting, so they're really cool.
You heard it here first. Listen to Switchfoot.
Switchfoot.
Friends of the podcast. My second group that I would pick is this is a good example of what I kept mentioning earlier before. Like, I feel like they're underrated, but in a general sense, like for the time that they came out, like this was a pretty big band. Like they were doing numbers, they were selling out arenas, they were playing like world tours, but I just feel like this band doesn't get the credit they deserve for being such a good band. My second pick is Chevelle.
Chevelle.
Like the car, which I didn't know was a car until I was looking up Chevelle on Google.
I mean, I know of a Chevy.
I think that's probably what it is. Chevelle, Chevrolet, Chevy.
Chevrolet.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Chevy, Chevrolet, Shovel. Shovel?
Chef Boyardee.
What?
What? Chevelle's amazing. Like Chevelle.
What type of music would you say they are?
They are. When they first came out, their first album, people threw them in the nu metal category, but I just say they're alternative rock, almost alternative metal, because they get like a little bit heavier, but that alternative metal genre is like a massive, massive genre that like literally if you're heavy but you're weird in any sense, or if you're like a little softer than most heavy bands,
heavy bands,
you get thrown in there. But like that's what I describe them as, alternative metal. They're just a 3-piece, only 3 guys.
3-piece chicken tenders. When you say I'm so sorry. Every time you say a 5-piece, 4-piece band, I just think of like. What? Come back.
They're 3 chicken tenders in a band.
They're a 3-piece chicken tender meal.
Yep. Their full name is actually KF Chevelle.
All right, we're done.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault. It's my fault.
I'm bringing it back. They're just 3 people in the band. Originally, there were 3 brothers, like 3 actual blood-related brothers. Joe, Pete, and Sam. Pete Lowelfer is the vocalist, Sam Lowelfer is the drummer, and Joe Lowelfer was the bass player. Their first album had what's still like one of their biggest songs, and that came out in 99, 2000. It was called The Red. It's a pretty like, and this is why Chevelle is underrated. It's a pretty simple song. Like none of Chevelle's songs are like crazy complex or like crazy like, oh my god, like I've never seen this done before, these guys are wild. Like no, it's like it's just good music. Like they know how to write songs. They know how to really make like when I say a heavy sound, I mean that like it's almost like a wall of sound with their music. Like for just 3 instruments, like literally 1 guitar, 1 bass, and drums, you feel like you're listening to like 6 people playing the same parts together. It's great.
That's cool.
Yeah. They have a lot of albums. They have about, it might be 10.
You have a really good memory is what I'm like this. That's what I'm realizing. You telling like naming the people, the amount of people in the band, how many albums, like props to you.
A lot of this comes from when I was in middle school, high school. This is totally exposing myself live on the podcast. I would spend a ridiculous amount of time just like going on Wikipedia and just like looking up band information and like reading articles about them because I was like, oh, this is really cool. But yeah, Wonder What's Next is their first album. This Type of Thinking Could Do Us In. Amazing album. Like just phenomenal. My favorite song from that is The Clincher. If anybody who's listening has ever played Madden 2005, The Clincher was on that game's soundtrack. Beautiful. I believe their next album was Venacera, which had like a lot of really cool songs on there. But the only reason I'm continuing to talk about Chevelle is because at that point they actually kicked out their brother Joe, and they still somehow decided to keep it in the family because they replaced him with their brother-in-law.
What?
Like, what?
I'd feel away if I was the brother.
Oh,
I'd
listen.
Like, excuse me?
You should see. Yo, if y'all want to have some fun, y'all should go online. I feel so bad saying this. And just look up Joe Welfer, like post Chevelle. I heard he was working at Starbucks. Like at one point, and they asked him what was going on. He's like, yo, they hate me. Like, apparently he just wasn't holding his own weight. There's your modern rock tea of the day. But yeah, Chevelle is my second pick. To wrap it up, they're just super consistent. Like, they've made good music for almost 20 years now. I think they've been a band, and literally all their albums only get better and better and better while they still keep like that same sound. If you like one of their songs, you love the band. Like,
because they have like a consistent sound. Would you say? Yeah,
which is amazing.
That's cool because we don't get that a lot. Like, I think a lot of bands are still experimenting with their sound throughout the years. Yeah, it's cool like to have like a solid band that they just know who they are and what they want to stick to, which is cool.
It's a lot of fun to listen to.
It's cool. That was like a solid choice.
Yeah.
So my third one, I know you're excited about this one.
Yes.
She's just a solo artist.
The goat.
R&B artist.
The goddess.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan!
I love your hype. Where would I be without your hype? So I chose her because...
No, you chose Jasmine Sullivan.
What? I'm so confused.
That's a her joke, H-E-R.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I'm corny. It's the worst.
Listen, as long as you're having a good time, that's all that matters.
Okay. I won't interrupt.
You're good. No, you're fine. So I feel like I chose her because I feel like a lot of people know her song "Bust Your Windows."
Yeah.
I bust the windows out your car. It's kind of like tango-y. Tango-y. Just making up words. Yeah. And I was just like thinking how I like to just sing that so off key. I just have to know. I know that I was off key. Anyways.
Don't be coming for us.
Listen. So I chose her because I feel like she's mostly known for that song because when I've mentioned her to people, sometimes people will just be like, oh yeah, that song. She has that song, Bust Your Windows, and it's been in movies and all of that. Yeah. But she is amazing. Like, you know,
she could sing her butt off.
Like riffs and her runs are insane. Whew. And I was telling Wes earlier too, like she sings in more of like a lower register compared to like females like, you know, Ariana Grande, who's more of like a soprano. And I feel like sopranos like Mariah Carey and people who can just go really high, like singing a really high register, are they're highly praised because I feel like a lot of people can't sing that high. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people can't hit those belts out high notes, but she's in like a lower register and she kills that lower. Like she dominates that lower register. That's her. Like
that is the Jasmine register.
Her tone, like she has such a rich tone to her voice, and like she has like some grit. And she, again, the riffs and the runs and the feeling she puts.
It's amazing.
She like growls. I don't know. I just love. She just has an amazing voice. And some of my favorite songs. Well, right now I really love "Pick Up Your Feelings." Yeah. So that's from her newest album. How would you pronounce that? Hoax Tales?
It's actually Ho Tales.
Ho Tales.
Yeah. Which is like, I love that she wrote it like that.
I was going to say Ho Tales because like I know a lot of times when you have the X at the end you don't pronounce it, but I was like, that doesn't seem. that can't be it. So,
you looked at it like.
So I was like, maybe she's just trying to play on word on the like you know like the actual word hoax. She's just trying to spell it differently.
Yeah. She's being clever.
Ho Tales. Yeah. Okay. It's off that album, which came out this year. I know you
Great
love.
Album, by the way.
I know you love the song "Girl Like Me" featuring her.
Oh my god.
Lost One is on it, which she released that as a single originally. That one is a very like emotional ballad, very raw. Just has like that one electric guitar throughout. Yeah. She sings. I'm gonna use different words. She sings her whatever out. Yeah. That's not even a swear. I don't know why I'm like expletive out. I don't know why I'm trying to like not use certain words. Yeah. Whatever. But yeah, Pick Up Your Feelings, Insecure, Silver Lining, Let It Burn, Tragic. Those are some of my favorite songs. And I just think she's amazing, and I think she's underrated in the sense that I don't hear about her as much as I feel like I should.
Yeah.
For how great her of a vocalist she is.
Yeah.
I've seen because I look up TikTok singing challenges sometimes because that's like my latest weird obsession.
Yeah.
Like seeing people do TikTok challenges of trying to do like riffs and runs that certain vocalists do, and she came up in one of them, so I'm like, okay, like I've been seeing her around there, but I feel like I should hear from her more, and she's just amazing and worth checking out. So
yeah,
that's why she's my third pick.
I totally agree. I think Jasmine Sullivan's a beast. If you haven't, you mentioned it, but again, my favorite song off of that album is Girl Like Me featuring her. I think the lyrics are wonderful. I think it's interesting. I kind of mentioned why beforehand, but I think I just,
Yeah.
And some of the riffs and runs in that song.
We had to relive. We heard her do one, and we ran it back.
Chill.
That's what it is with Jasmine Sullivan. Like I feel like when I hear her riffs and runs, I have to hear them again right after.
Yeah.
Because it just seems like they're mind blowing to me. Like how did she just do that so casually?
Yeah.
Like she's I've seen her videos on YouTube. She has a couple that is just kind of like an intimate set. Like there's couches, and she's just casually just dominating the song with her riffs and runs. I'm like, how?
And she's just so okay.
Yeah,
that was
just
the song.
Casual.
But yeah, she's a beast. My third and final pick, I remember this as I was listening to Chanel talk about Jasmine Sullivan. Is Rhapsody, the rapper Rhapsody. If you're like, who the hell is Rhapsody? Rhapsody is, I almost don't even want to say it because I feel like throwing this in there makes people kind of be like, oh, well, whatever. Rhapsody's a female rapper. I'm not sure where she's from, but she's been around for a while. And my introduction to her, which I feel like was a lot of people's introductions to her, was on the To Pimp a Butterfly album by Kendrick on the song Complexion. Rhapsody, oh
See,
my.
I didn't even catch that she was on that album.
Rhapsody rapped her butt off. Rhapsody out-rapped Kendrick.
That's a bold statement.
And I'm going to stand by it. Yo,
you should.
Oh, imagine who's going to tell me I'm wrong.
Right? I know. It's this is your podcast. You say what you want.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, Rhapsody is a crazy lyricist. And in the beginning when I first heard her on Complexion, I was like, man, this is cool, this is whatever. But Kendrick did his thing in the beginning. But then it's if you have the chance, for real, sit down, pull up Complexion, pull up the lyrics, and look at them, and you'll be like, my Lord, this woman has rapped her posterior off completely.
Oh my, not posterior.
I'm gonna try to not butcher the lyrics, trying to remember them, but I know she starts her verse with "Let me talk my Stu Scott, excuse me on my Tupac, keep your head up when the juice stop, love and die, color your skin, color of your eyes." Listen, just that beginning, "Let me talk my Stu Scott." Stu Scott was an announcer on ESPN where they talked about sports, aka games. So she's saying, "Let me talk my game." I got chills.
Come on, Rhapsody.
Come on, Rhapsody.
Let's get it.
She said, let me talk my Stu Scott, excuse me on my Tupac, keep your head up when the juice stop. I don't believe it's actually keep your head up when the juice stop. I know the keep your head up part is a different lyric, but keep your head up is a Tupac song, and Tupac was in the movie Juice. And so it's back to back. There's a beautiful line where it's all my solemn men up north, 12 years a slave, 12 years of age, thinking my shade too dark. I love myself, I no longer need Cupid. You're forcing my dark side like a young George Lucas. Light don't make you smart, being dark don't make you stupid. Oh my God. Rhapsody! Hold on, you're forcing my dark side like Star Wars, the Sith, the dark side like a young George Lucas?
Dude.
Oh! Okay. Rhapsody's also been on songs with J. Cole. She out-rapped J. Cole.
Making a lot
You're
of
like, what?
here.
You're like, whoa, what? And I stand by that. What did you say earlier, Chanel? Who's gonna stop me? This is
Exactly.
my podcast.
Who's gonna stop you?
I don't mean to get controversial. But no, Rhapsody, like I would genuinely put Rhapsody like top 10 rappers of this generation, like easily.
And I feel like she is underrated because I haven't really heard of her.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
And like you're really convincing me to go check out her Spotify profile. And
I'm telling you, she came out with another album too, which is really good. But I think I might be wrong on this. I need to check this, but I'm not sure if her last project that she came out with was back in like 2017, 2018. And that one had a lot of really good songs with a lot of really good features on that. So definitely be sure to check that out. But Rhapsody is my third underrated pick. I think she's amazing.
Word.
Yeah. I was just going to say that I don't know if we want to take this moment to mention a couple honorable mentions. I'd kind of brought one up before that I know that you really agreed with. So I don't know if you want to.
Yeah. Was that last one your honorable mention?
No, that was like my last official one.
I thought that was your honorable mention.
Yeah. Listen, this one is definitely a shared honorable mention, though.
Okay.
Because this woman is a queen.
And her name is?
Yeba! Oh, my Lord.
Yeba. I remember when I heard of her name, I was like, Yeba, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Her name. But I was reading an article about her new song, Distant Sky. And I guess it's just Abby backwards.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeba Smith is her full thing,
Yeba Smith.
Right? Yeah.
I think so. That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
She...
Oh, my God.
I think she... I'm going to say this. I'm going to be bold. Okay. She is one of the best vocalists of our time.
Oof.
Dare I say. Like her... Another one, riffs and runs.
Untouched.
She can run for days. Like,
untouched.
Specifically, her performance of the song "My Mind."
Woo!
You should watch it. Like I think because now it's on Spotify because I think it was so like popular demand.
Wait, no way. Are you for real?
Yeah, dude. Look, "My Mind."
I didn't even. You should see my face right now. I didn't know that.
You can just be in your feelings and listening to that song on Spotify now. But it used to only be a YouTube. I think it was a So Far Sound.
Yeah, So Far Sound.
And her, but like you have to see. I would recommend to watch the performance first.
Yeah,
watch her performing it live on the So Far Sounds performance. Because the raw emotions, her expressions, her eyes, the way that she's just like, you can see the desperation in her face. Like I get chills every time I see that. Yeah. I've shown it to people and they get chills too. It's just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like one of the best videos to show somebody if you're like, yo, do you want to see a good singer? And they're going to be like, good? I don't know. You were showing me the greatest singer ever. She can sing.
Like her tone. Again, like grit, raw, just like raw tone. Super soulful.
And especially in that video of My Mind, like her interaction with the crowd while she's singing I almost feel like I'm spoiling something if I talk about it. Like you really do need to watch that video.
Like I almost like don't want to like talk about it.
Yeah.
It's too late. Yeah.
Listen, there's a way because like some of those lyrics are like super like emotional and
they're
like
heavy.
Raw.
They're heavier lyrics. Heavy. Don't listen to that. I don't know. Maybe you should listen to it if you're going through it.
Go get in your bag. Go get in your bag. Full of some ice cream, a nice dark room.
I feel like you should listen to it too with like maybe headphones or something.
Yeah.
Like it's like you have to get into a zone when you listen to that.
I'm literally like thinking about it right now and I swear the hairs on my arms.
I listened to and like again TikTok challenge that was one of the first ones I saw, like the Yeba riff. Mm-hmm. And it's hard. Yeah. Like people do the challenge because it's like it really is a challenge to like get her riffs and she just does them so effortlessly. Yeah. She can run up and down. And but she has other songs like I feel like that's probably my favorite one.
Have you heard Evergreen?
Evergreen, I was gonna say that's one of my liked songs. Evergreen. That's a sweet song.
Yeah.
And Distance, her riffs and runs on that one there's a moment that it's like again it's super popular on like online, but I feel like in those songs her tone is almost more soft. I feel like My Mind is unique in that her tone has the most. It's the grittiest I've heard her sing. Like the most like raw I've heard her sound.
100%, yeah. Especially in that performance.
Yeah. But yeah, it was amazing.
She's
I think she's underrated because she's a wow.
Facts. Again, if you haven't heard of Yeba, I think you're only proving the point that she's underrated because she really, like, I stand by that statement. She really is like one of the greatest singers of all time. Like,
I mean, I said of our time. But
well,
yeah.
I say all time.
You said of all time?
I
Even
say
bolder
all time.
statement.
I say all time. And she also, this is just like a side note, she has a really good song with Lucky Day called How Much Can a Heart Take? That is amazing.
And I read an article about one of her newer songs, and it was a tease of, I think she's putting out an album this year, actually. Like a full-length album. I think it might be her first.
Yeah.
I think she just has singles, I think. So, yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited to hear it.
That's dope as all hell. I just thought of, listen, honestly, I wanted to throw in this random one because it's along the same, there's an honorable mention, along the same lines as Chevelle. It's a band called Breaking Benjamin. I love Breaking Benjamin so much. They're almost like a guilty pleasure band for me because it's the same case as Chevelle. The songs aren't like crazy complex or crazy wild, but if you like one Breaking Benjamin song, you love their entire discography. Like Benjamin Burley, who's the vocalist, he's like the primary songwriter, and you can hear that in a lot of the albums. Like you could tell that he sat down, he said, "I'm just gonna write a song." You're like, this kind of sounds like some of their older stuff, but like either way, I love Breaking Benjamin so much. If you haven't heard them, give them a listen. They're like alternative metal, like hard rock, basically. They're like radio rock. It's great. It's a fun time. That's my last honorable mention.
Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw them in there.
But yeah, I think we're at the end of our 4th episode.
Yeah, I think we made it to the end, guys. Well, once again, we'd like to thank you guys for listening. We hope you guys had a great time listening to us talk about some underrated bands. If you guys have any bands or artists that you think are underrated, please feel free to leave a comment on whatever platform you're watching in. If you're listening on YouTube, where we upload the audio versions as like videos, you can just leave a comment, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave us a 5-star rating, please and thank you, and a review. If you're listening on Spotify, go ahead and leave us a follow. And I believe, can they like the episode too?
I think they can download. Spotify's a little different. I think you can download episodes and save them and follow the show. Yeah,
so be sure to follow the show. And also, this is a super quick tidbit. This is like a behind the scenes thing almost. We do check like the analytics of the episodes, and we have a couple like international listeners. This actually, I checked it today. Like 3% of our listeners are from Brazil. So shout out to our Brazilian listeners.
Hey. Wait, I'm like, and I don't want to like downplay it, but I'm wondering, I'm like, are these like bots? Like,
I hope
is
not.
Is this real?
Listen, shout out to our Brazilian robots. You feel me?
Brazilian robots.
Well, once again, guys, thank you so much for listening. I've been Wes.
I've been Chanel.
And this is the Tune Out Podcast. Yeah! With the fade out. Yeah!